around us all the time. It is so intricately involved in our day-to-day life. We have very long history with knowledge of geometry. From ancient times, people were aware of geometry and used in their day-to-day life. Let's take an example of ancient Egypt. Long ago, the people of ancient Egypt faced a problem every year. The problem was that Nile River used to flood, and whenever it flooded, it used to distort the boundaries of land near the banks of the river. This used to put the landowners in a problem. After the flood, the boundaries of lands would dissolve, so nobody would know which part of land belonged to whom, and this would result in confusion. As this was an annual problem, they came up with a system of measuring land. The Indus Valley civilization around the year 3000 BCE also made this geometry. Their cities were well-planned houses had different types of rooms, well-planned roads, and good drainage system. This was not possible if they didn't know the use of geometry. Basically, geometry was being used in many parts of the world throughout the daily life. The word geometry itself comes from the combination of Greek words. Geo means land or earth, and metrian means measurement. So, geometry means the measurement of earth. Geometry we study on a paper today was actually conceived as a solution. And this was day-to-day problems in the ancient world. The ancient Egyptians also used geometry in construction, designing granaries and making the pyramids. So all the existing knowledge about geometry was brought together in a form of book by Euclid, the father of geometry. Euclid was a Greek mathematician who used to teach mathematics in the city of Alexandria in Egypt. He was the first person to collect all the work done on geometry and put it together in the book called Ellipse. He was born in the mid of 4th century BC and he was died on mid of 3rd century BC. He was born on Alexandria, a city of Egypt. His book contains definitions, axioms, postulates, and proofs that we can use to prove things further ahead in complex geometry. We will try to cover some important definitions, axioms, and postulates in his book that will help us in solving and proving theorems to make our understanding of geometry clear. Or some of the basic definitions geometry that Euclid put in the book named Ellipse. In an empire known as Geoland, there was a princess called Square with no siblings. She was smart, beautiful, and was the daughter of Parallelogram.
Dear, I think it is time to meet your chosen one. I will let everyone in the empire know, and I will have a lot of cool knights come in here, and you shall pick one of them.
Mother, do not you think you are hurrying? I am fond on finding a knight that has at least many properties I do. I would not want to make compromises like our neighbor Empress, the equilateral triangle, who married just a month ago 13, 16, 19 triangles.
Time passed by and long-awaited date came. At the door of the official salon of the palace was a great crowd. Means that for more or less far fame came from all the corners of the kingdom.
Dear candidates, hello and welcome. As you probably know, you are here to steal my princess's heart.
You know our princess, all four sides are equal in length and her opposite sides are parallel to each other. Also, her four angles are equal. That is, each angle is at 90 diagrams. Her diagonals bisect each other and meet at 90 degrees.
Even your mom's opposite side are parallel and congruent. Her opposite angles is also congruent. Her same side interior angles are supplementary. Even diagonal of your mother separates into two congruents. Triangle and diagonal bisect each other. Oh, poor thing. She does not want you to see fight. So we would not have a tournament. All we are interested in your properties. Let's hear you, gentlemen.
Honored Princess, let me introduce myself. I am the normal quadrilateral, and my biggest property is that sum of four angles is 360 degree.
Darling, I know you are really proud of your property, but that is the property we all have.
The parallelogram, the trapezoid, the inscribed quadrilateral burst into laughing.
Your Honor, I am a pentagon. I have 5 sides. My interior angle is 72 degree and exterior angle is 180 degree. My each angle has 108 degrees.
That is true.
Dear Princess, I think it is about the time I introduce myself. I'm an inscribed quadrilateral, and besides the property we all have, I can also brag with the fact that my opposite angles are supplementary, which means that their sum is 180 degree. And even more than that, the angle made by one side and a diagonal is equal to the angle between the opposite side and the other diagonal.
Hey, I also have that property.
Wow, that's really interesting. Even I can brag about that. But unfortunately, this is a property that the princess possesses as well.
What about my qualities? I have 2 parallel sides. Oh, you must be in the trapezoid. Then anything else?
Yes, you recognized me. Well, besides that, the adjacent angles formed by a unparalleled side with the sides are supplementary. And even more, the angles made by each of the parallel sides with the same diagonal are equal.
Tribal, look at me too, or at Impresses, or at the Princess, or at the Triangle. All of us can vary about that. Even more than this, all of us have opposite angles congruent.
Indeed, and our opposite parallel sides are congruent.
The normal quadrilateral, the inscribed quadrilateral, and the trapezoid shamelessly leave the room. The room thus starts to empty itself, and the competition becomes fierce. And the only candidates left are rhombus and the rectangle.
Will you excuse me for just a moment? I'm sure that they will both start bragging about their diagonals having the same middle. Darlings, don't bother about me and my daughter having the same property.
Yes, but we said that my diagonals are congruent.
And mine are the bisector of the angle.
But my angles are alright.
And my diagonals are perpendicular. Or should I even say that my all sides are congruent?
So what? I'm inscribed. This is something you cannot say about yourself.
Enough, I cannot hear anything new. I also have resolved properties. Get out.
The rectangle and the rhombus left the stage. Left on the stage remain as in the beginning, the square, the parallelogram. The princess is sighing while her mother tries to calm her down. The day that was supposed to be the happiest turned out to be so hard. It looked like the princess square was so perfect that she couldn't find someone her own size.
Darling, sometimes I feel so bad for simulating your critical thinking so much. What if you will never find your right knight?
Ladies, don't give up. And the candidates just showed up. Did you ever hear about the regulated hexagon?
I have actually heard about him. So what? He does not have even 4 sides.
No, darling, he doesn't have 4. He has 6, and all of them are congruent, and his angles are all congruent as well.
Yes, but they are not right.
They are even bigger. They are all 120 degree.
And diagonals. Does he have any?
Of course, he has not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, but 9 diagonals. The 3 diagonals connect diametrically opposite verticals and twice longer than the side, which means it is formed from not 1, not 2.
Okay, mother, get to the point.
Oh, sorry. So it informed from 6 equilateral triangles and he is also inscribed. So as you can see, he has more properties than you.
And the other 6 diagonals are congruent and determine 2 equilateral triangles. They will start. If you ever heard of it?
Alright, let him come. Then he is the one batsman. Change the flag in front of my window to a relationship.